Hello and welcome back, everybody, again, as we've already just finished the halftime, and we're going into these last two matches to see if we're going to be able to see INTZ pull this together and make it a 2-2 going into that fifth match, or it's going to be a complete and utter sweep coming out by Predators. Katrina, it looks like we are going to be going into the map of Hanamura. How do you think we're going to see this gameplay coming out by INTZ? We saw the Doomfist slightly on the map prior on Nubani, and again, we see a little bit of the Doomfist favoritage on that map of Hanamura. So, do you think we'll see it here coming out as well by this team?
I could say it potentially on defense, especially coming from INTZ. However, I'm anticipating to see them leaning more into that triple tank, triple support GOATS composition, especially with the Zarya being so strong for this team. I think that this could be the momentum turner for them. We could see INTZ being able to take Hanamura unless Dabu is on that Widowmaker and can abuse so many sightlines. So I'm definitely going to suggest to INTZ, just in my mind, try to run those heavier tanks this time around. I think that they will get a lot more success, as they did show some impact in their matchup against Quad last week.
And, I agree as well. I think, especially even like the Desk touched on as well, they wanted to try and use this composition of the 3-2-1 having the, protect the McCree dynamics, that they're trying something a little bit, out of the ordinary and not really actually having a decent matchup between what the composition is of their enemy team coming out by INTZ. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that moving into this second half here. And again, it will be on Hanamura as the assault map selected going into this, and I'm looking forward to some hopeful turnaround here coming out by INTZ against Predators, who have been very, very coordinated going into these first two maps.
And that's truly because of Raul on that Zenyatta. The Discord orbs have been phenomenally placed this entire time. I would be curious to see if Raul is the shot caller of this team. I am unsure, but right now, based on the coordination of Predators, you see this Zenyatta in every single kill of the kill feed. There's so much impact for this hero. And also, I'm hoping to see INTZ lean into more Zenyatta play as well. They tend to prefer the Moira at times when they are feeling a bit more uncomfortable, which as one of our favorite analysts absolutely hates Moira GOATS, he really does not like because of the lack of shield breakage, the lack of utility. However, Predators has been prone to running that Sombra, so potentially that Moira might be able to have some more abilities to deal with a more divey composition coming in from Predators. Now, last week, Predators really did struggle on Hanamura. They were constantly running that GOATS composition into anti-GOATS with a Doomfist, a Sombra, and a Wrecking Ball. So we'll see if Predators is a little less stubborn as we do go into Hanamura.
And again, we've seen that a lot where it's that, anti-GOATS composition with the Doomfist and the Sombra, and it can be very effective utilizing those two, and they're really trying to contest against it, since right now that 3-3 meta using the tanks and supports are so very strong right now. So it's good to see it, and it looks like Predators right now here are going to look to go into that, Sam, Sombra, and Debut Doomfist play right now.
So just like you were mentioning, yes, that Doomfist will be coming out on the side of Predators unless Sam gets some early scouting information that makes him want to change this. But, excuse me, Predators will be defending first. Skulk was able to get all of that additional information, and XHM will be swapping over to a Genji, most likely to harass Unreal and Raul in those back lines. An early pick on one of Predators' supports will be absolute wreckage, as we often do see a Mercy on Hanamura defense just for that pure resurrection factor. That is not available for Predators at this current composition.
And here's that Zenyatta play as well coming out by INTZ. Oh, Kazma going down so quickly by Sam. What a early pick here on the side of Predators. Nice job getting that early advantage, as they're going to have to now try and use this stairway to maneuver up to the high ground and maybe buy some time here. Kazma looking to hopefully get back with the rest of the team, since they are tucked into this corner and in a difficult spot right now to really try and turn it around.
And Unreal is about to have a nano boost already at 81% charge. So this extra utility coming in, most likely going to be given to either Isavinge or Debut on that Doomfist, is going to be very difficult for INTZ to overcome, as they are in this very tightly condensed area. They need to spread out before Debut can capitalize on their positioning.
Oh, and Sculp is going to get hacked right there, almost getting taken down, not really being able to do too much but flay that hammer, or the mace, as they try to get the push on to the Doomfist. Debut able to get one on the Yaks with now the follow-up. Still in the back line, though, you are going to have XHM retreat completely, since they are just going to have to go to the drawing board and regroup again. Once again, you just see Predators dominating and really buying their time here. They're not overcommitting to anything and reading the team plays by INTZ very well.
Kazuma especially has been punished very early by Predators. That first target is that Lucio predominantly in these very high tank compositions, but we have a 3-2-1 coming in right now with INTZ, with XHM being the, I suppose, the pointy part of the stick. But right now he has that Dragon Blade available. Can't use that with the EMP though.
Sam, great positioning here, completely negating that engage coming out by INTZ, as they are going to be dominated very quickly with no abilities to their avail, as it's going to be Predators now having 4 ultimates going into this, only utilizing 1 and in a really good position to continue a strong hold here.
Yes, right now INTZ is going to have to use some of their now saved ultimates. They are almost at 5 coming into this next fight, with the supports being the ones falling a bit behind. Izavinj does have to go back for a little bit of additional healing, but XHM has been holding on to this Dragon Blade for so long because the supports have been killed almost immediately at every initiation. Here comes that nano boost.
Still keeping pressure, able to get one, looking for a second. There's the third. All 3 supports eliminated once again, shutting them down. Not going to want to force any other ult here. Yak's using it to try and survive at least, but too much damage again already coming out by Predators just to delete the support line.
Oh, and right now they're just bullying this D.Va right now, getting the even more stagger as there's only a minute remaining. Oh, this just hurts for me to watch right now. Finally, Trusker is able to take that fall and will be reuniting with his team. There are still ultimates online for INTZ Esports, but there's so many counters to every single one of them. Unreal, who has been on point with these anti-nades especially, will be able to negate all of Hex's Transcendence healing if he is able to get through the shields and the defense matrix of Harzek and Izavinj. So most likely is going to wait for that Primal Rage to come out to negate all of that shielding.
And there's an early stun onto Dabu, seeing if they can get the follow, but not going to be able to. XHM having that Dragon Blade still for the entirety of this match, as they are looking for the opportunity, not really finding it. 20 seconds remaining. Hex is going to get picked off by the self-destruct, and now the Blade comes out, but EMP is going to be used on a point. Trying to turn it back around. Unreal at least able to get picked off here by that Dragon Blade, as now INTZ is in their desperation phase with 10 seconds still to go, and starting to turn it around. That desperation coming victorious here on this point, as it's only a few members of Predators remaining. That was enough there in that last ditch effort to push and claim objective A.
Kazma was the hero of that final push there, but it was more due to Sam's mistake of not being able to get that Lucio in that EMP. The sound barrier is such an impressive tool, as we just did find out. However, as we do look at the ultimate charge, Yax and Drusker are the only ones either at or very close to their ultimates, so there's going to have to be a couple of economy pushes coming in.
On this high ground, so many members getting overwhelmed. There comes the pick onto Hexton in the back, finally able to get it. The Primal Rage, though, coming out as well. Going to be used on the side of INTZ, seeing if they can gain more with the self-destruct. Not going to be able to. And Nano Boost now coming out on the side of Predators. Onto Winston, getting some massive pressure here into the back line. Sculpt trying to survive as the pressure high overhead now switches on to Zek on the D.Va, getting the D-Mech, looking to try and get that pick. Respawn advantage again in favor of Predators, trying to come back into this fight. But one after another, though, momentum is real coming out by INTZ, as they do want to try and lock this down. Almost about to gain one ticket, now looking to gain the second. Are they going to be able to regroup, but looking to pick them up as Transcendence is going to be forced. Trying to buy some time here, but getting knocked around. The Dragon Blade now coming out by XHM, seeing if they can get the picks needed to try and claim this second point. 3 now remaining with a self-destruct coming out by Predators on the high ground, seeing if they can claim it. Getting 2, both Scope and Kazma, so that they are not going to get any closer. Still having a decent amount of members, though, by INTZ with another fresh back. That is going to be a hold here, not allowing INTZ to get that momentous victory and stopping them at 88.3%.
Both of these teams are absolutely shocking me. I would not have anticipated INTZ to be able to take 1 tick, let alone 2 for that attack, and for Predators to be able to come back when all hope seemed lost, with Sculpt just getting so many maces to so many faces. There is a chance for Predators to full hold, as Dabu has a Graviton Surge very soon, coming very soon, as he did switch off to that hero right before INTZ did hit that point. However, there are ultimates available on the side of INTZ as well, with that self-destruct, which did provide the zoning that allowed INTZ to really get on that point and do quite a bit of damage this last push. There is definitely an opportunity with 2 minutes remaining.
Graviton now going to be used on the side of Predator, locking down a number of members of INTZ with a self-destruct as well, as they have so much damage coming out on the defensive side. A lot of ultimates committed to this, though. Unreal getting a nice double kill right at the tail end of it. And again, we do see that support play by Raul, focusing that Discord orb onto the primary targets and really just aiding his team's defensive position.
Raul is one bloodthirsty Zenyatta, I have to say, and all of that extra armor coming in from Sam after that rally is going to make him even more of a force to be reckoned with. XHM is going going to have trouble using that Dragon Blade, aiming directly for Raul, most likely, due to all of this extra protection. But now he has some armor of his own, so watch for him to sneak up onto that high ground while the rest of his team goes straight for point.
Now getting some damage into the backline, wants to get this kill, and there's the Dragon Blade wanting to follow, but Transcendence is going to come out to try and negate the Dragon Blade completely. They at least were able to get one pick, but completely nullifies the remaining portion of that Dragon Blade, still continuing to be on the point right now. You see XHM looking for that opportunity to get the DMAC, even though there's going to be, that's the self-destruct, going to be dropped down, managing to get it, forcing them away. Able to get Yax, though, not going to get behind an object at all to try and survive as they leap out with only 40 seconds now remaining. They have to wait till Yax is back online to try and engage this.
Yes, and with a Graviton Surge once again available for Dabu, it's going to be a victory condition for Drusker to try to eat this ever-important ultimate, which is almost a guaranteed team fight win. So watch for Drusker in this upcoming fight to really use that defense matrix quite liberally.
And the Graviton on the bridge, high overhead, completely shutting this team down with their mobility not available, but the Transcendence coming out by Hex, managing to withstand a lot of incoming damage, getting the DMAC and the follow-up. Now you see Predator starting to get the trickle effect on this positioning, dominating one after another onto INTZ, even though they are trying to fight valiantly back onto this with the Dragon Blade, but immediately, once again, holding onto that Transcendence by Raul, carrying the last portion of that fight to secure that there is nothing going to change on that defensive side, as it will be the completion of round one.
Yes, but INTZ was able to take almost all 3 ticks on that second point. Very impressive showing on Hanamura. However, Predators does know what they need to do in order to secure this victory, this overall win for this match. They need to make almost 3 ticks as well on point B. And given their momentum right now, I wouldn't put that past them. INTZ Esports needs to have an absolutely dominant point A defense, maybe even a full hold, to really change the momentum, to get their passion, their spirit back up as we do move into a map 4 and maybe even start that reverse sweep train for INTZ. However, as we do look at what Predators will be running compositional-wise with Sam and Dabu on that Genji and Tracer, that's an interesting pick. Something tells me that might change. They will be relying on a lot of pointed damage, most likely going to be targeted at that backline first. XHM and Sculpt on that defensive Sombra and Doomfist. I like to see this, especially on point B. Sombra is so overpowered on 2CP with that EMP ultimate, taking up so much space, almost the exact amount of space as one of those control points. I think right now INTZ is setting themselves up for success, and Predators will have to outplay them, not just out-counter them to get this 3rd victory.
And, you know, I agree. And the one thing that I think that Predators has to really acknowledge and accept going into this is that INTZ, after that first push and moving into point B, they, I feel, maybe underestimated them a little bit. You know, they were able to come back quickly and really try and contest on that point B. So going into this, they're still going to have to be very aware and cautious of how they want to play this.
I completely agree, and right now the scouting is coming in from Sculpt. They do know that this offense will be quite divey. I'm very curious to see Raul on this Moira as opposed to a Zenyatta, especially when you're running such very aggressive DPS heroes as Dabu and Sam. I don't really understand the logic behind, but hey, with Harzak getting the first kill onto Kazma, they obviously know a lot more than I do there.
And you're going to get that pressure in the back coming out by the Genji play. Yak surviving through it as it now is going to be that position. Yes, it is going to be a position here, getting some pressure in the back by the Doomfist, contesting against it on the point, seeing if we can contest even further. Going to get the pick, though, taken down as you continue to see the dominance coming out by Predator, as it will be 1 tick going to be the second, and they're going to try and maintain this momentum.
You see, now I really do wish, though, that Predators was running a Zenyatta, as if they had that Transcendence available, that would provide so much protection for Dabu, who is about to farm up a Dragon Blade. Sam will have a Pulse Bomb, and as this defense is so close-knit together, I would not be shocked to see a double kill unless Drusker is able to use that defense matrix with great success. Here comes, it gets nothing.
And you're going to see, again, that Tracer position on the high ground, seeing if they can get some backline counter against it with a Dragon Blade now going to come out as well by Predators. Hoping to have it for this engage. They want to keep this momentum to contest onto it, as it will be a dive in the back. You are going to see the Dragon Blade coming out, trying to force them away. Oh, and that's going to be a nice early pick, looking for a second, wanting it, managing to get it, but an instant turnaround here, shutting down, not going to be able to have it for much longer. Still trying to contest even further, retreating back onto the point as INTZ is looking to hold this for a moment or so longer and stop Predator's pressure.
Yes, I'm a little bit frustrated coming in for Predators Esports. Seeing that Debut is now switching over to the McCree now makes a bit more sense, but they could have had the opportunity. They have 6 minutes on the clock to be able to farm up as many ultimates as they need and take point B in just a cacophony of violence, I suppose. But right now, as we do look at what INTZ is running, they have even more ultimates thanks to the quick changes coming in from Predators. Raul is switching over to the Zenyatta. Sam will be on the Brigitte, and Debut, as I said earlier, is running that McCree, which will be very important. Maybe he'll be able to flashbang Sculpt out of this EMP.
And again, that EMP is going to be crucial. It's going to have a lot of opportunity for them to contest against it on that backline position, wanting to find the opportunity. You do see that early pick, though, again, coming out by INTZ. They're doing a great job to zone back Predators. And again, this is where I think they're partially underestimating the capability that Predators do, or that INTZ actually does have.
Now, though, that they know that EMP, Meteor Strike are unavailable, Predators can stay in that very close, tight-knit formation that they do love to run, and they have the ultimates to protect themselves during it. Unreal will have a sound barrier for their next attack, especially with Isavinj being on that Winston, going to be able to have that Primal Rage to knock off all of INTZ from that high ground. I think this is a real opportunity for Predators to capitalize on their positioning.
Still trying to maintain that high ground position here. You do see the Doomfist play again by XH doing a great job really trying to harass against them as they're looking to maneuver up this potentially side position. And again, as you said, just under 5 minutes. There's a lot of time here for Predators to really just buy their time to generate ultimate charge and really just unload everything that they have onto this team of INTZ.
Yax is going to have that Primal Rage, though, so even though there was a lot of passion coming in from Predators with that early attacks, Yax is about to get a lot more angry, and Raul is going to definitely be a bit nervous as he doesn't have a Transcendence to combat that. Unreal still has to be yet to use that sound barrier. Right now, they're going to try to bring that out with this self-destruct coming in.
And now they're going to see if we can try and push on the high ground, using that opportunity to pressure them back. Yak's going to force out the Primal Rage coming out by INTZ as they are looking to maybe hold the high position, but Rally's going to be used now by Predators on the upper position. Self-destruct coming out in the back, trying to manage it with the Transcendence, giving some healing, but the Deadeye in conjunction with that self-destruct managing to give some momentum here, starting to force them away, looking to get one tick, now hoping to get the second here as they try to get back. There's going to be the Winston jump. Yak's able to get onto the point as the sound barrier does come out on the side of Predator, but nobody really able to handle the McCree back in the back, with the EMP going to be unloaded finally by Sculpt, seeing if they can turn it around. But Debut able to just completely rain so much damage on the high ground. Wrecking Ball getting picked out of the sky. Significant amount of damage. They are nearing the opportunity to turn this back around, but the respawn advantage still slightly in favor here of INTZ. They're managing to fuel enough members out of this spawn location to continue sustaining it. Unreal getting a nice boop kill as well onto Sculpt, managing it. And again, here's just another Deadeye going to come out, looking to try and close this out with going to be the double kill on both supports. Can they manage to do it with a Transcendence coming out as well to secure it, as the Meteor Strike again will buy a few more seconds. They are just looking to run this clock as long as possible to make sure that they can prevent it. 3 minutes to go. They're trying to just get back, but not going to happen. Finally going to be able to claim victory here. Predators taking Hanamura.
What a field day Debut must have had on that McCree. I mean, he must, I think McCree has that voice line, like shooting fish in a barrel. Well, Debut had the entire map to himself. He was being completely uncontested because all of INTZ had to contest the point at some time or another. He was just taking advantage of that stagger and that beautiful high noon at the end. That just capitalizes it all. That makes sense why, I mean, he's everyone's favorite cowboy coming in here, and Debut has made his mark on this hero for sure.
And, you know, you have to give credit to INTZ being able to play so very well on the defensive position. And but I mean, really, that cowboy, as you said, when there was no pressure on that player, it was just free reign. Like, they could never break away from it. The focal point was at least managing that point, and at that time, it literally, like, as we can even see here, you know, on the earlier pressure, it was just so much dominant positioning here. And again, you see Raul just finding out those specific focus targets with the Discord, transitioning down the outer left-hand side, and we saw it multiple times, and you know, they just were not able to really do anything with it. And to finalize it and cap it all off, like I said, having that McCree dealing so much damage in the back allowed them to just completely pick them off here, as we're going to see that Deadeye coming out too, just generating ult charge one after another. Self-destruct to zone as well, getting a nice pick on Yax. There was so much going in their favor once they got onto that point and got the picks onto INTZ.
And what really initiated that, I don't think I've given Harzek enough love on this diva for Predators, being able to get that self-destruct right in that upper left corner behind the point, taking out those supports, specifically the Ana right away, allowed the rest of Predators to really take advantage of that lack of healing coming in from Esports. I mean, I can just sing Predators praises today, and it's so incredible to see how much one player can make a difference to an entire team, as this is, once again, Dabu was transferred from Quad to Predators. So this is his second time in a row facing up against Esports. You can see this is much to Predators' advantage.
I mean, and you have to honestly know that going into this, when you have a player playing at such a high quality, it fuels the rest of your team. And seeing that come out with that transfer, giving them the morale that they need to further pressure onto this team. And there's that final double kill that we saw by the Deadeye, as we are now going to go ahead to a quick break here. And so we can give just a few moments before we enter into our fourth map. Hello and welcome back for this fourth match, which we are actually going to go on to Dorado. We just saw that play by Predators right at the tail end of it. As you saw, INTZ doing a great job holding back, but still coming up short on that final capture point of Hanamura. So with, Dorado coming up for this escort map, I'm interested to see again how we're going to, opt to choose this composition coming out by INTZ to hopefully try and at least claim a victory here of this 4 maps that we have today.
So because INTZ did lose their last map of Hanamura, they were able to choose Dorado, and I'm not surprised given how sniper-friendly this map is. INTZ does love to run that double sniper, especially with Aegis's Widowmaker, so they're definitely going to be playing into their strengths on this map. However, Dive is also very strong, especially on the first 2 checkpoints of Dorado. So Predators, they must be also feeling pretty good right now. Also, Dorado is Sombra's ancestral home, their lore, so we're going to definitely be seeing some Sombra on both sides as the hacks, the EMP potential, this is just her playground.
And yes, I'm excited for the song. Honestly, I mean, we've seen so much more of it because of that unlimited invisibility. Just gives so much detail and, option to the selected team. They're able to just read the plays, the opportunities. And again, we'll probably even maybe see, like we've seen the last couple times, that these teams have really been responsive to the type of composition. They'll come out, they'll get the information that they need, return back to the spawn point, try and alter it to see if they can get the best picks coming out to not waste that time as they are about to, get into their next encounter.
So let's take a look at what Predators will be running on the defense. It looks like they're all gathering into this very small room right next to point, trying to be a bit sneaky. Sam is on Mei, so is going to get a really quick wall to make sure that Hex is separated from the rest of the team. Let's see if this sneak attack is going to actually work.
Getting that Reinhardt on the front, trying to mitigate the incoming damage. You see Sculpt looking for that high ground position to see if they can get some sidelines, but having a difficult time, maybe going to opt to try and reposition around the back line. And as you now get the Pharah play by XHM in that tight choke point, hoping to get some shots through that doorway, but they're responding effectively as they're going to, again, use this doorway to try and keep that payload from not moving anywhere, forcing Predators, or forcing INTZ to try and go around the back position.
Yes, and right now Sam is just so survivable with that cryogenic freezing. Raul is also getting a huge amount of healing on this Moira. There's so much utility of that Mei wall right now, being able to negate all of XHM's damage, but this is going to definitely be stopped as XHM now has a rocket barrage coming in.
And you know, we did see this too earlier on Route 66 where they were utilizing a Mei to slow that payload movement. The rocket barrage may give them some opportunity here in the back line if they can just try and give that ultimate, but they have the defense matrix. That's what they are very cautious of maneuvering forward as they're now trying to swarm around the outer corner of the payload, getting a lot of damage with Sam causing so much harass. And again, that ability to use this close proximity with the Mei wall, not causing any sightline problems, allows the payload to still be contested.
This is absolutely incredible coming in from Predators. I'm a bit shocked that this is still working, but because of all of this tight containment, Dabu is able to get a Graviton Surge already, accompanied by Sam's Blizzard most likely soon. Oh, XHM has to do, yes!
And that's going to be the rocket barrage they needed, getting the D-Mech as well, trying to utilize this strategy with the Mei that we've seen in NA Contenders isn't going to be able to hold much longer on this side of Predators as it's going to be overwhelmed finally by INTZ, and hopefully going to be able to get the opportunity to maneuver through this front line and reach a closer proximity to that checkpoint.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy to see XHM being able to get such an incredible rocket barrage. This is a huge point of momentum coming in from Esports, and hopefully they can capitalize that. I just want them to have a happy moment here, Richrad. I just want them to be able to succeed, but Dabu is going to use that Graviton Surge, most likely with Sam having that Blizzard coming out.
Oh, and the synergy just completely locking most of the members down here by and seeing if they can follow up. But Yak's actually able to stay outside of it, causing a lot of pressure here along with the rockets coming out by XHM. Another follow-up here onto Unreal. Nobody going to get really an opportunity to take down that pharmacy composition with the self-destruct, still able to claim Sam, and the momentum continues.
Yes, and right there was a huge mistake coming in from Dabu. Did not wait for Drusker to get out of the way, and Drusker indeed ate that Graviton Surge. Dabu is now switching over, but here comes that self-destruct.
Ooh, and it's going to claim 3. That's at least going to slow the momentum a little bit as they are just under a meter to go, capitalizing on it as the momentum ceases. Unreal turnaround here by INTZ.
And Isafinch is switching over to that Reinhardt, has that game-winning Earthshare, but that is the only ultimate online for Predators. Oh, XHM is taken out by Dabu. He can't use that rocket barrage anymore. Dabu is getting some early scouting in, hopefully for him going to get an early pick onto one of the supports. But right now the resurrection does come in for XHM. The attack will be once again continuing.
And XHM has to be extremely careful here if they do manage to get that pick early before the rocket barrage is utilized. They're going to lose out a lot with the aggression up coming in the back by Yax. Winston now causing pressure onto the Reinhardt along with the Diva play. Needing to be careful as they're looking for that Widowmaker, managing to get the rocket barrage behind, taking out the Widow, but XHM now dedicating so much to that. Widowmaker gets taken down by the Diva. Still continuing to pressure around the side. Sam doing a great job on this Tracer, causing a lot of harass to the supports as they continue wanting to get the other pick here as the res comes up. Pulse Bomb not going to land, but gets a decent amount of damage, but the Biotic Grenade manages to keep them going. Still under 5 meters to go as they slowly maneuver the payload back. You will see XHM from the distance trying to get some shots, but the Widowmaker is now back online. On the high ground, does go down by Yax, again giving that just aggressive play. 2 meters to go. They managed to reach the checkpoint and now have just under 2.5 minutes to try and keep this momentum going.
One of the things I love about Dorado is every single checkpoint provides so many different environmental factors, which makes you really want to change up your composition. Dabu is already at a head start, having that Widowmaker right now, but XHM is able to use the environment to his advantage, dodging all of these very impressive shots. Dabu will have infrared sight, though, to be able to see where XHM is trying to plot his next barrage, but he's got a little bit until then. But Sculp, however, has that EMP available. It's going to be difficult for him to get a lot of value as all of Predators is quite spread out at this very moment.
Now they're going to have that heavy dive in the back line, trying to see if they can gain some sightlines with that Widowmaker position by Dabu on the high ground. We're now starting to give some aggression by Sam in the back, looking for the follow-up, wanting the D-Mech, but just coming up short. There it finally is, with another pick on Sam, killing Cosma on the Mercy. Nice job again on the front line as they're going to have 1 minute and 25 seconds still to go here to try and regroup, find again that momentum with the 3 ultimates that they have going into this.
Okay, now I'm really excited because Drusker, is not going to be switching to the Roadhog like I hoped, but will be getting back into mech as Diva. XHM, though, will be switching over to everyone's favorite Shimada brother, Hanzo. So that sniping ability will be on play for both teams now. I'm going to give the edge to INTZ, actually, to be able to use Storm Arrow and deal with Isavinji's aggression. But, oh, that pulse bomb!
And Hex gonna go down. That is not what they want with the last minute to go. Sam making some big plays right now, looking for the triple with the follow-up by Winston. Great job again on the side of Predator, just continuing to get that early pick and stagger them away. 45 seconds now. It's going to be INTZ trying to regroup again, switching again with XHM on the Hanzo, trying to make something of it. Sculpt's actually going to go on the Widowmaker as well now, as we see this composition going to be interesting for us to see how it's going to play out with 30 seconds to go.
I was wondering when INTZ was going to pull out that double sniper, and now's the opportunity, but Sam being that tracer, it's just going to keep just aggravating those snipers in the back line. It's going to be a little bit, Raul is about to get picked off.
Sculpt managing to get the pick. That might be the opportunity, since there's been so much effect coming out by Raul with that Zenyatta. Not having it for this engage. You do see them trying to still keep some momentum on the payload. 5 seconds to go. Primal Rage going to come out, though, on the return side. Actually, from both teams, managing to get Taboo, and now the follow-up onto Sculpt. Aggression by the Winstons, keeping it going. Pulse Bomb available. Not going to just yet use it. Now using it outside of the mech, but unfortunately not able to. No, does get the kill onto Drusker, as they still get a double kill now. Sam getting a triple, completely turning it back. Overtime, shredding away. Are they going to be able to keep it? Oops, he did it again, as Sam continues to get another one with Plasma, and that is going to be it. It will be round one completed with Predators at the tail end of that, with Sam cleaning house.
Oh, Sam, he was definitely getting his leg day workout in there, but absolute player of that map right there. First on the Mei and then on the Tracer. I don't think I've seen Sam play this Tracer so far in South American Contenders, but boy, I hope I see it a lot more with some impressive sticks onto INTZ's on, I believe, twice. Just being accompanying Isavinj and Harzek on all of their dives. Just beautiful Tracer play. You can't make me happier.
No, really. I mean, I'm still kind of stunned by that. I mean, that was absolutely amazing, and the spray just to boot. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Sam knew it. Sam knew the play was exactly what they needed, and you saw INTZ starting to capitalize on the team of Predators. But with that positioning and the Tracer play that we saw, and again, you don't really see too much of the Tracer play because there's a lot of opportunity with the Brigitte shutting it down. It's not really in the meta, so it's refreshing to see that Tracer play to counter a team when that Brigitte or, that solid CC composition isn't there, and it can just do so much.
So INTZ Esports is going to run with this double sniper. I wouldn't be shocked if Sam ends up switching back to that Tracer. As you were saying, INTZ couldn't really keep up with all of that amount of damage, but Yak's on the Orisa. So whenever I'm watching South American Contenders, when I see an Orisa, that's a little bit of a red flag for me, even though she provides so much great shielding, especially on these upper levels of Dorado. She's so immobile, and Predators will be using Isavinj, especially to knock her off of this ground. Just, there is a reason why Orisa isn't used too much in South American Contenders, and I think we're about to find out why, unless XHM and Sculpt get so much healing that they're able to take out Sam from the air.
And they dive so quickly on that high ground position going into this, almost as if they knew that Yax was going to be on the Orisa play, even though we don't see it too much, as you said, on this region, with Sam getting very low, almost picked off here by Sculpt in the back, trying to reposition, surviving through it just barely. Debut also going to be very low as they still try to gain some sightlines here. Sculpt in the back, wanting to try and find that position along with Debut. That Widow fight is going to continue to happen here as they want to get that early pick, trying to get some hidden sightlines here through the marketplace, through the pinatas, and maybe going to get that high ground position play, almost getting it in the back, but just coming up short right now.
Yes, right now Raul is using that resurrection on Sam. It's going to be very difficult for Sam and Debut to be able to deal with Sculpt's intense sightlines. And look at the sniping right now coming from XHM.
Giving so much damage in the back with the follow-through as well, causing so much harass here by INTZ. As surprising as this is, they are actually doing a very good job with the combination that they have in this composition to really hold back Predators, as now Raul is going to opt to go back to that dominant Zenyatta play.
I'm really happy to see the switches coming in from Predators Esports. This is my favorite variation of triple tank, triple support, as when you enable Isavinj on that Winston, giving him that particle barrier from Debut, having Raul put on that Discord orb on any of his targets, and of course that extra armor from Sam, that Winston can become a lot more durable, and XHM having that Storm Arrow becomes less and less impactful.
Widowmaker getting those shots. Sculpt getting the finalized shot there on that tank line. Going to get it. Looking for another can. They managed to get it. Almost taken down by Raul, but XHM looking to secure it as well onto both Taboo and Raul. Once again, you see them coming out of nowhere. The sleep tart as well. Oh, they're just going to bait that out for a moment or so longer.
Wow, that's just rude. That's just rude coming in from XHM. There's no other way to put it. But it's going to be quite exciting on the side of INTZ. Now they have a lot of fun ultimates to play with. Sam and Dabu now have realized that they do need to switch things a bit up and are switching back to that Genji and Tracer that they've had so much success on with Raul. Now going from that Zenyatta to the Ana, so they're going to be looking for that Nano Blade to end this round. That is their victory condition coming in right here.
Trying to look for that flanking position to contest against it with now Sam on that Tracer play, but the Brigitte shutting it down. As we said earlier, having that Brigitte play causes a lot of harass onto Sam. Now in the back line, you do see Taboo with the self-destruct coming out as well on the side of INTZ, trying to maneuver their positioning here, so Predators are no longer able to keep pressure onto this payload, forcing them back. A lot of damage again coming out by XHM, and now getting very close to just having another rally here by Hext.
Honestly, Predators is getting a little bit cocky right now with Sam running that Tracer directly into Hex's Brigitte, and there's still so many ultimates online for INTZ because there's been so many switches. You only do have that sound barrier, and also that self-destruct and primal rage, and here comes that self-destruct right now.
Trying to see if they can claim it, managing to get XHM. Now Sam continuing to harass in the back, getting the DMEC pulse bomb, looking to get the follow-up. There it is, so they do at least get that tank out of this fight with Daboon now getting so aggressive, almost getting picked off here, getting it bashed, but still surviving through the damage. Supercharger no longer going to be of much help here on the side of INTZ as they continue to apply pressure in the front. Sam helping on that rider side with the rest of the team. Biotic Grenade to secure it, hopefully going to get that purple bar to make sure that they can clean house here with the only member remaining is Yax on the Orisa to soon get taken down, and will now reach this first checkpoint, maneuvering forward with just under 3 minutes.
It was kind of cute seeing that sleep onto Yax on that Orisa, but I think that right now he will be switching over to that Reinhardt. A bit more speed, bit more utility, especially as the payload is reaching its final destination. Raul and Dabu are about to pull out this Nanoblade combination that will most likely end this round, unless they are able to use a stun, but no, INTZ Esports has switched off of that Brigitte, so the most direct counter to Nanoblade is out of the picture.
In addition, here it comes, as you said, it will be the double onto both supports, taking them down. Sam going to get the third and continue to dominate with a triple kill coming out by the Blade. That's going to be Predators pressing with an entire team kill, claiming the victory on Dorado. That's going to be 4 matches to 0, with Predators claiming all 4.
And going from 0 to 4 in their first week to 4-0 victory for Predators Esports must be a huge boost, and it's so vital for them to bring up their map win victory. So I'm quite proud to see that Predators was able to adjust, especially with the addition of Dabu, which I believe was the biggest factor in their victory, even though Raul, I think Raul gets my MVP vote of the night.
You know, I would have to say that I greatly agree, but also just, you know, I got to give like a side MVP to Sam, like right at the end, because again, I just haven't seen Tracer in so long, and I'm a big Tracer fan when there's some really great gameplay, and at the tail end of that was just great to see it come out again. I mean, they did have that Brigitte play, which immediately shut it down, but you know, that opportunity to find that window of opportunity, utilizing the Tracer again to cause a lot of harass, holding them back, there was just so much opportunity. And you know, let's take a quick look at this replay again. As we were talking about earlier, they like to use that Mei play to really prevent that momentum on the payload, but XHM finding this rocket barrage completely severed the opportunity for Predators to really hold on that position, and they continued to give some pressure. It's going to be one of those things that they did very well with that Blizzard. In addition, there was just so much going in favor of INTZ as they maneuvered forward, but Predators just still coming out on top.
Moving forward, though, I am a bit concerned about Predator Esports, as they seem to be a very emotional team. When they lost really hard last week, and when they won, they showed some tendencies to get quite cocky. So that's something to watch for as we do move on further into South American Contenders.
Very much so. And again, we are going to go ahead and toss it back to our desk to give the final thoughts on the overall gameplay that we saw between Predators and INTZ. It has been fantastic to cast with you, Katrina, and I hope to cast again with you. And now, take it away, Panda, and the rest of the analysts.
Thank you so much, Rich and Katrina. Great cast, as always. So much emotion thrown out through this series, I would definitely say. I definitely like what Katrina said at the end there. They lost hard last week, but they won with glory and a little bit of I like that with a little gusto at the end there, I would say, for Predators Esports. Rounding out that 4-0 victory, they will take it over their adversaries. So go back to Hanamura and LaFon. We saw a lot of fun, I guess, impressions coming out from a multitude of compositions. More importantly, INTZ, they're a little bit shy over missing out on closer to the meta compositions. We saw the Genji solo DPS play, but I want to focus more on Predator's final attack and how they found success on winning the series. They pulled out that Super McCree onto point B. Go ahead and tell me a little bit more about how that works out so well for them.
I mean, one of the things that comp was able to accomplish, rather, is that they were able to set up Dabu on the high ground, the McCree completely uncontested, even though INTZ Sports actually had 3 people who could chase him down. You've got the Winston, you've got the Diva, you've got the Doomfist, and to a certain extent the Sombra as well. So there was people who could contest the high ground. They weren't able to. They weren't able to get that rotation down properly, and then it's a shooting gallery. So McCree, when he hits shots, he's good, and Dabu hits shots, so he's good. So it's for me, I have to say Predators Esports at the top there. That's what helped them round out Hanamura and just seal the series for them in that 3-0 heading into, of course, Dorado. For me, man, though, you touched on that on like Genji from INTZ Esports, and I gotta ask, does INTZ Esports know who Brigitte is? Because there's a lot of questionable choices for me. You run a Genji instead of a Zarya. You don't have that brawl composition. Then you lose the fight on point because you don't have the brawl. The Genji is not really going to be able to do anything even with a Dragon Blade, right? Like, he's slashing through armor, he's slashing through shields. Not really effective. So I have to ask, is INTZ Esports, do they actually know what GOATS is? Because we didn't get to see a whole lot of it today.
And you know what's funny about not having that Zarya on your team too? We talked a little bit about this on Thursday. That cleansing bubble is always fantastic to have on your team. Saving members of your squadron with that cleanse when they get shield bash, stunned, even the anti-grenade. We saw all of those abilities being utilized from Predators, but INTZ not really wanting to, like you had said, LaFon. So continuing on to Dorado, like you had mentioned, we saw a little bit of some different decision-making coming out from INTZ as well. Straying a little bit different from the meta. I'm not going to lie. I really enjoy seeing it all. But we saw Sam really impactful on Tracer. Your caster, Rich Rad, was very excited to see it. We were all very excited to see it when we were watching it with you all in the chat. A hero which hardly even played these days because of the Brigitte. It was able to pop off, finding a multitude of kills towards the end there to help Predators on holding their adversaries just outside the courthouse of point B. But the double sniper defense, solo support Ana, Orisa Diva composition from INTZ on defense. Their secondary support was a Brigitte, in fact. It worked super well for INTZ for such a long time, Naori.
It really, really did. You know, something that we've spoken about so much, not just now in Contenders, but in Contenders Trials EU, going all the way back to Open Division. This is like a massive theme, and that is flexibility. Now, what we normally speak about is teams that are unable to play anything that isn't GOAT. INTZ's biggest problem, did you spot it? They never played GOATs. Even when they had the Brigitte, it wasn't the standard 3-3 composition. So it feels like they're trying to shy away from the strongest composition in the game at the moment, and it's one of the reasons they didn't do well on Hanamura, and it's one of the reasons they didn't do well on Numbani. Sam, their backline was his playground. Zipping around, in and out, pulse bomb on Anna, gonna kill the Hanzo, not even demech Diva, as she demechs, pulse bomb her, no remech for you, and all of that could have been avoided with a Brigitte, or even a McCree, but at a particular point, because you need that extra support, you need that extra healing, you need that Brigitte. Let's take it back to how Predators won that final push. Genji pulled out the Dragon Blade, literally sliced up the entire enemy team. Know what would have helped? Shield bash. You know who has a shield bash?
Gotta lock them down, man. Yeah, who has it, Naori? Who has it?
Brigitte!
It's to add on to that. It's I have questions, right? Whenever I see a team play double sniper, it's like, okay, are you playing around picks? But then if you don't get picks, then what's the point? If you have people roaming in your back line, what's the answer? Something that can shut down that roaming. And throughout the later stage of the series, it's been basically just question after question. Do they want to run what's good? We know how good GOATS is. We've seen it in every region: Korea, South America, China less so, but even so, Europe, North America. There's everywhere you look, someone is running goats, and there's a reason for that. It's because goats is good, but if you're not running it, then that means you have an answer to the composition, or you think that you're not nearly as good at it as perhaps someone else. So I didn't see that from INTZ Sports, and I don't know why. So if you're gonna have, you know, a composition that is arguably the best in the game right now, and you're not running it, you should have a reason why you're not running it, and we didn't see that reason. So I am only left with questions, and for INTZ Sports, they are as well, because again, they have no victories yet. 2 weeks through the season.
But again, like, I don't want to take anything away from Predators. We're speaking a lot about how Ints were playing the wrong compositions, and that made a big difference. Sure, it did. But on the real here, Predators played exceptionally well. I mean, Sam, if he wasn't a good tracer, it wouldn't have mattered, you know? Like, he wouldn't have been getting those picks. He is a good player. Predators really brought their A game, bringing it back to what you said earlier, Panda, and what Katrina said just before the throw. Like, they lost hard. They came back. They found their inner selves. Their communication was on point. Their teamwork was on point. They were styling tonight. So
And I think
really
that's actually something that's pretty interesting, is that now this group is wide open. Aside from BTH,
Right.
every other position is up for grabs, and that's not something we thought we'd be saying at the end of today.
That's right. With TSM losing today, in fact, and Predators Esports winning, that does keep this Group A open up like a bag of chips, besides the salsa set on the side that is BTH. With that being said, though, thank you so much for joining us, folks. If you would like to be a part of our community here at Broadcast.gg, don't forget to drop a follow, check us out on Twitter as well. Join our Discord, in fact. We're always looking for new friends and family, fellow, I guess, Overwatch lovers and video game lovers themselves. Whether your title changes from Overwatch to a multitude of different titles, come check us out. Learn more about producing, casting, hosting. We're all here for it as well. I'd like to personally thank our casters today, Rich Rad, Katrina, Labosco, Hirix, our wonderful producer, and Bredley. Here on the desk, your host, Pokemon Panda, the analyst, LaFawn, and Naori, signing off. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 4 a.m. Eastern Time, for Chinese Contenders Day 2.